So where does the Republican Party go from here? Well, let's bring in Axios reporter Alayna Treene. Alayna, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me, Jerry.
So this was President Trump back on form, as Mark said, laying into his critics, laying into President Biden, criticizing his own party, naming all of those who voted for his impeachment or conviction in the recent trial in Congress. The Republican Party although as popular as Donald Trump is, and we saw that from that straw poll at the end of the CPAC meeting, it is a party that is in a significant amount, has got significant divisions, right? I mean, the former president is threatening to run, to run against many of those people who vote, all of those people who voted against him, voted for his impeachment or conviction. This is a party kind of in a civil war, isn't it?
It is, and it's a party that is really struggling to find what it is and what it's unifying around in a post-Trump world. And we're seeing that play out in Congress in particular, but also in the potential discussion of who the potential 2024 nominee will be. I think that the former president made it very clear that anyone who was against him, he will be running full-heartedly and full-throated at them and against them and their primary challengers. But also from people I've spoken with just close to him and getting their reaction to his speech, they think that really the president, whether he runs or not, and I think he's leaving the door open but not decided, what he wants they want it to be rather someone who is with Trump. So whether it's Trump or not, they think that the person who will run and win the nomination ahead of 2024 will be a Trump-backed person.
I think, Alayna, what was interesting as well was, in addition to that characteristically combative performance by the former president, he did spend some time spelling out what could be called a kind of an agenda, spelling out even a kind of almost an ideology of Trumpism, talking about a Republican Party that stands up for working class interests, working class values, in a way that perhaps the Republican Party has not traditionally been seen. Are we seeing here the beginnings, whatever happens with President Trump, of a kind of a transformation of the Republican Party's message?
Yes, definitely. And we've already seen a lot of leading Republicans like Senator Marco Rubio, minority leader, GOP leader Kevin McCarthy, say that they want the future of the Republican Party to be the party of the working class. Josh Hawley, another potential 2024 presidential contender, also saying they want the party to be the party of the working class. And so we're seeing a lot of people kind of clasp on to that message. And you're right, the former president did lay out a lot of these things. I know that a lot of Republicans that I spoke with, some former Trump advisors and people still close to the former president, telling me that they think that's
much more substantial than they had anticipated. He did spend a lot of time laying into attacks on President Biden's approach, spent a lot of time on immigration, which we didn't see a lot of people discuss at CPAC. And so he's already starting to lay some of his policy battles out, where he did that on the stage yesterday. And I think we're going to see a lot of Republicans follow suit. But it is a big question, I think, as we look ahead to the future of the party, where people stand on these issues and what they rally around. We saw Jim Jordan offer a very supportive message that he would get behind the former president if he chooses to run for office again. We're seeing other people like Tom Cotton, Josh Hawley, kind of lay low in deciding what they're going to do and letting the former president make his decision, because he will.
Sorry to interrupt you, Alayna, but just very quickly, if I may, because I want to get your thoughts very quickly on this before we have to close, but it has to be brief. The one name, other name out there other than former President Trump in that poll is Ron DeSantis, of Florida, governor of Florida, who does seem to enjoy a lot of support, a lot of popularity in the party, right?
He does, and he's a very Trump-like Republican, which I think is what we saw. But I also think that the straw poll, as it is a good indicator of how people who are at CPAC are feeling, it's not indicative of how Republicans across the country are feeling. So I think that particularly when we look at his response to coronavirus and his performance as governor, that will also weigh in to how people view him. But yes, he's a Trump-like Republican who saw a lot of support there, and it shows that it might be giving him the boost he needs to make a potential run.
Thanks, Alayna. Good to talk to you.
Thank you.